What is it?
Disgusting.
So, yeah, Pixar is giving us a full-blown cinematic spin-off about the world's greatest toy, Buzz Lightyear. And this is one of the rare occasions when Pixar actually makes a spin-off of one of their own properties. I mean, sure, you've got Pixar shorts and everything, but they've never really gone out of their way to make a full feature-length film about their characters. Except the closest thing to that would be... But there's actually been a few spin-offs of Toy Story in the last 25 years or so that I'm honestly a fan of and had my attention every time one was announced. In this case, or at least what I've chosen to talk about, would be one straight-to-video movie and 2 half-hour TV specials. I know there's a few out there that are up for debate, like Toy Story Toons, Lamp Life, or whatever that Forky series was, but those were moderately short and often went by a little too fast for me to really make a coherent video about. But you know what? For you guys, I'll give the Toy Story Toons each a 3-second review. Go! Watch me whip, watch me. That thing is ripped straight from Blue's Clues and Sony movie. And with that out the way, let's take a look at some other Toy Story spin-offs and specials.
To infinity and...
Different franchise, sir.
This diabolical plot can only be the work of the sworn enemy of the Galactic Alliance, evil Emperor Zurg.
What plot? You think Zurg is behind every kitten stuck up a tree?
The Fiend. Why can't he leave kitty cats out of his nefarious schemes?
In the millennium of 2000, right smack dab in the middle of 2 different annoying generations that constantly debate which era was the best, mine included, and 1 year after the success of Toy Story 2, Pixar partnered up with Disney TV Animation to give us their newest straight-to-video movie, Buzz Lightyear of Star Command.
The adventure begins.
So for those who don't know, Buzz Lightyear the action figure was actually based on a TV show within the movie, but it's not really made clear unless you've seen the deleted scenes. Watch my video. And eventually he gets his own movie for the toys to sit down and watch. It's like Tim Taylor watching Tool Time, just less Pam Anderson.
Name's Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear. I'm a space ranger.
The movie expands upon the lore of Buzz Lightyear, which prior to this, all we had for context was whatever was written on his box, and the Logan Pauls in the first movie, and the Zurg action figure from the second movie. But here, we get to see Star Command, home planet of the aliens, Zurg's fortress, and everyone having the exact same spacesuit as Buzz, which for a while I thought looked stupid, especially when they have the big goofy guy have one, but... No, it still looks stupid. I don't know, maybe I'm just not a fan of everyone else sporting an iconic outfit, especially since the ones sporting them are a token group consisting of woman, short nerd, and big doofus. And that almost sounds like I'm describing Lloyd in space. I do like how they expanded upon the aliens, or as they're called here, Little Green Men, by having the icon on their suits represent this orb called the Unimind, which has them all think telepathically and explains why they all speak in unison.
Use the wand of power. Hey! Can you guys slow down? This talking at the same time is really hard.
Oh no.
And that is actually our of the film, because Zurg plans to use it to connect every mind in the galaxy to him, and he'll have unlimited power, and they'll listen, blah blah blah, you've heard this before. And normally I would just scoff this off as typical, but the special pretty much knows it is, and honestly I give it props for having some pretty solid comedic writing.
Incidentally, why can't we have nose rings?
Because nose rings are for punks, little mister.
Well, if you can take on Zurg alone, I don't see why XR can't get a nose ring.
I was just asking a question. I'm not the one getting a nose ring.
Then who's getting a nose ring?
I seriously want to give a firm handshake to whoever had the genius idea of casting Wayne Knight as Zurg.
Ooh, I'm so evil. I just gave myself chills. Even my goosebumps have goosebumps. I'm a bad boy.
I love this whole comedic villain twist that they had, as opposed to the movies having him just be some sort of Darth Vader clone, but even then he had his funny moments. A lot of the casting here is pretty solid too. Nicole Sullivan, Diedrich Bader, Patrick Warburton, Adam Carolla, Larry Miller, Stephen Furst, who is really just playing Flounder.
This is just too cool.
Oh boy, is this great!
And yes, Patrick Warburton does in fact voice the Little Green Men. Obviously it's a higher pitch, and most times it sounds accurate to the movies, but every now and then a little bit of Joe Swanson on Ilium creeps out.
Well, technically, it was authorized by you. We slipped it in with our vacation request.
Honestly, I really enjoy this movie for what it is. But that's the thing, for what it is. Because this movie was practically a precursor for a bunch of other things. This movie was obviously made as a 3-episode pilot to a TV series directed by the guy who directed the Aladdin straight-to-video sequels, all the comparisons you can make to Lloyd in Space when watching both shows, but more interestingly, 2 of the 4 writers of this movie went on to create Kim Possible, which explains the triangular curvature in their character designs, Mara sounding like Shigo and Zurg sounding like Draken.
Was that a serious suggestion, or are you mocking me?
Yeah, I'd say about 30% serious, 70% mock.
I really recommend this to fans of Toy Story, Kim Possible, or just anyone really. But at the time I'm recording this, neither the movie nor the show are available on Disney Plus, or any streaming service for that matter, but it'd be a nice gesture since the new movie is going straight to theaters. I mean, you can always torrent this stuff, but legally, the only way to watch either would be finding assorted clips on YouTube, or just buying the DVD of the movie, wherever possible. And if you're lucky to find the show, you'll also recognize they got every cast member back except Tim Allen, who was replaced by Patrick Warburton.
Don't you worry, Dr. Furbano. When trouble calls, call an arranger. We're here for you.
They even got Warburton to overdub Allen's voice when the movie was turned into a 3-episode story arc for the show.
Sorry, but you don't have the field experience to take on such a dicey assignment, Princess.
Sorry, but you don't have the field experience to take on such a dicey assignment, Princess.
I don't know if the new one will have anything to do with this one, but wishful thinking for it regardless.
To infinity and beyond!
What happens next?
Where's Prickle Pants?
Well, he was standing right here just a moment ago. What are we gonna do now? He was the only one who knew what the heck was going on!
Aw, snap, it's Toy Story of Terror. After the success of Toy Story 3, Pixar temporarily peaked, and the years following didn't do as well as they used to. So in 2013, they brought back some familiar faces in the form of an ABC Halloween TV special.
We're all right here. See, there's Woody, Pricklepants, Trixie, Rex. Wait, where's Potato Head?
And so it begins.
In a nutshell, Bonnie and her mom have to make a pit stop at a motel where the toys get separated and eventually get captured by a sinister eBay seller and his iguana. Oh, I'm sorry, eBid seller. You know, eBid. Is it any way related to Schneebay? Is that where I can buy a Pear laptop? Hey, can we stop by a McDowell's for a Big Mick with a chimp Pokemon toy? What the hell was I talking about?
Oh, shut up.
The special follows your typical horror movie trope as someone goes missing and they get picked off one by one. Like you even need me to tell you because Pricklepants does that throughout the whole special. But Timothy Dalton is just so brilliantly cast that it's just ear candy.
I expect they'll be asking the innkeeper to use the telephone any minute now.
Would it be okay if I used your phone? Our car is flat.
Right on cue.
And thankfully, both Tom Hanks and Tim Allen are back, as opposed to Star Command being voiced by Jim Hanks and...
This is stupid. I want to talk about vaginas!
While the special really isn't scary enough to warrant an exclamation point after terror, it does have some suspenseful elements to it, with the toys getting picked off one by one, but then again, once that part's over, the terror aspect of it kinda dies and it's just about getting the hell out. It's like if The Lighthouse advertises itself as a horror film, but then halfway through becomes... Mr. Bean's Holiday.
Drunken enough, but Jenny Fat.
I seen it. You're fond of me lobster.
Plus, we get introduced to a bunch of retro toys also in captivity, and you can just tell by their designs what era they came from. And obviously there's spots where commercial breaks are meant to be when it aired on TV, but on the Blu-ray, you get the option to have a bunch of faux commercials about those few toys, which aesthetically capture those eras pretty damn spot on.
Combat Carl never gives up. Combat Carl finds a way. Stay in school.
Combat Carl! I'd like to see Steven Sommers make a shitty movie out of this.
Hey, aren't you Buzz Lightyear? I love your movie.
Speaking of which, Carl Weathers makes an appearance as that son of a bitch, Combat Carl.
Dylan!
And damn it, he's given 110%, making him easily the most watchable character in the special, you know, aside from Pricklepants. In fact, most of the time it feels like the main cast is taking a back seat to him, and I'm not complaining about that, but I am confused about the toy itself of Combat Carl. Like, obviously it markets itself as another G.I. Joe of this world, but I figured this was just another toy out of all of them, because the first Combat Carl we see has white skin, while this one is darker. But in Toy Story 4, there's several of the same black Combat Carl.
Are you telling me that you are not white? Oh, the deception!
And I don't know how it took me so long to get to this, but as much as I'm praising this special, the most integral thing about it is Jessie, played once again by John Cusack. The whole narrative of the special is literally surrounded by her post-traumatic claustrophobia. And much like Finding Nemo, it's about facing your fears and making those sacrifices for the ones you love. And honestly, for a Halloween special of all things, it's really endearing. Shit, she does way more here than she did in Toy Story 4, but maybe I'm going too far.
I can't!
Jessie, listen to me! Remember your training!
But I don't have any training!
Well, forget about that.
It's actually laid out like another installment, but in a more condensed fashion, and it's pretty solid Halloween special. Plus, the director of this went on to direct the new Lightyear movie, so maybe that's a glimmer? I'd say check it out. But does it pale in comparison to the David Pumpkins Halloween special?
No!
You know, I don't care.
Oh, I'm so glad to have you back, baby.
Trixie?
What?
Trixie, the battle swords are not playing. They've never been played with. They don't even know they're toys.
Incredible, isn't it?
Well, just 1 year after the success of the TV special, we got a Christmas-themed TV special, Toy Story That Time Forgot. I feel like there should be a "the" at the start of that, but if that was the case, Toy Story tunes would just be called Toy Stories, which kind of sounds like a Netflix documentary. I mean, it's a lot better than that Treehouse of Horror episode in that Toy Gory segment where Bart's toys kill him and turn his body into a toy. Speak to me!
I'm Bart Simpson. I love my mother and father.
Oh, we've lost him.
Jesus Christ, man, I got way off track. Let's get back to the show.
Greet the world with an open heart.
In this special, the toys find themselves at Bonnie's friend's house where they stumble upon a giant playset of the
Battlesaurs!
a toy line of humanoid dinosaurs who don't know they're toys, and the only way they know is the way of fighting as the one and only truth. Well, you know, except for the one leader who knows the truth and tries to keep his little George Orwell society in control.
Oh, my name's Trixie. It's Trixie.
You're not like our females.
Much like the last special, the focus has been turned to a side character, and in this case, Trixie, played by Kristen Shaw. And even though she takes up only 20% of the advertisements, no one would watch it if it didn't have Woody or Buzz.
Well, hi there, sir. My name is Woody, and, nobody cares.
Actually, they're not only pushed to the side, but they're practically damsels in distress, and Trixie has to be the one to save everyone, you know, otherwise... Oh my god, when did this become Small Soldiers? Actually, there's a surprising amount of toy cleansing, if you will, while briefly, still a lot more than I can say has been in the franchise in general.
Help, computer.
It serves as somewhat of an alternate Christmas special, taking place only 2 days after Christmas, but also seems like a love letter to 80s youth nostalgia. I can't speak for it personally because I was born in '96, but if you watch the special, that's obviously what they were going for. They're called Battlesaurs, they live in Battleopolis, they got everything that can only exist in those yesteryears that don't really exist today. But it also pokes fun at how stupid it is by design, making well aware that it's stupid, but hey, we were raised on this.
The Volcano Command Base, my domain.
Everyone needs an apartment shaped like their own head.
And they're not just cool toys by design, they're also jaunty barbarians who bun heads with each other in good fun, and just seem like really good mates.
An enigma wrapped in mystery. We've
Battled every foe since before the dawn of history. History! Battlesaurs! Battlesaurs!
I guarantee they'd be playing That's My Horse.
That's my horse!
But the true testament to how awesome these are, much like the last special that had those commercials bundled in with the Blu-rays, this one comes with a faux animated opening to their show, animated by Studio Trigger. The special is surprisingly written and directed by Steve Purcell, who you might know as the creator of Sam and Max.
God, I tell ya! God!
Steady, little pal. We don't know that for certain.
Hit me again. I like it.
He used to work on a lot of games from LucasArts like Monkey Island, ToeJam and Earl, Zombie Ate My Neighbors, some of the greatest names of their belonged genres. He's actually been working with Pixar since 2006 and contributed a lot to their work on the creative team. And besides being the co-director of Brave, this is the only directing position he's had. And no, he has no plans of making a Pixar Sam and Max movie. Not the ideal audience by any means, but someday they'll work their way back. In a just world.
The joy that you give to others is the joy that comes back to you.
So yeah, Toy Story The Time Forgot is actually a pretty solid spin-off to the franchise, and stands as a pretty good alternative Christmas special. It's no Die Hard, but still a tangerine. And looking at these specials has been such a treat for me. Honestly, not only because Toy Story is one of my favorite things in the whole world, but it's just genuinely great entertainment and a staple of animation and film that continues to be that staple to inspire filmmakers today, just like Pixar. Truthfully, I think Toy Story 3 was the last great film of theirs, but what still remains are still national treasures to filmgoers and dreamers like me. Let's cross our fingers for the new Lightyear movie and see if Chris Evans can still channel his inner pushing 69-year-old comedian.
No, I don't think I will.
We'll see.